Welcome back. Welcome back to the workshop. I'm Gerald. And yeah, man, it's another night on the day. We're doing our car chat. I had a couple of ideas I wanted to discuss. I was thinking about what if the idea of kami, that being the Shinto gods, were actually AI and vice versa. But honestly, that's beside the point. I'll sit down and actually hash out that thought on a different day. Really, what I want to talk to you guys today is about positivity and like how the world seems to be going back and forth. See, things are not as bad as they seem. We're currently living in an era where, like I am now, sitting in my car is 31 degrees outside. I'd like you to think about that. 31 degrees and it's freezing, and yet I can enjoy a nice can of canned coffee. These are my favorite, by the way. I absolutely adore UCC. If I could work for this company and just go around the country explaining how good UCC is, I would. That would be ideal. But still, man, I see people every day and they don't seem to be positive in the slightest, and I just don't get it. I don't understand what has happened to the people that demoralize them so much. I think people watch the news too much. They focus on politics, they do everything else. But you know, the world is really convenient now. You can pretty much do any of your luxuries, any of your hobbies nearly for free. For example, I like to write. Well, what do you need to write with? You need a phone. That's it. You just need a phone. If you want to make it easier, you buy yourself a $20 keyboard. Everybody already has a phone in their pocket. You buy yourself a $20 keyboard, install Google Docs, and you can write. Now, is it the best way to write? Absolutely not. If I could write on my laptop, I would. And laptops are, what, $200 or so? That's something you can earn within 1 month's paycheck. Relatively easy. So it's not the end of the world. And yet, people seem to make it out that things are not great. For example, let's look at the economy of things that make you happy, okay? If you pick up a video game and you play it to completion, which you should not be buying games in insane bulk. I get how tempting it is, but you need to really will yourself back. Like, I give myself a strict budget for games every year. I am only allowed to spend $30 a year on video games. That's it. $30 is all I allow myself to spend. And I will buy myself games that will keep myself entertained for like 40, 100, sometimes 200 hours at a time. There's no point to it. All your videos online are basically free if you know where to look for them. It's really a endless paradigm that I don't understand. Even books have places you can get a hold of as many digital books as you can. Now, you could read on your phone. That does not work for me. It works for some people, which is great, but for me, it does not work. So you may have to throw down some money and get a reader in order to sit down and enjoy it. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is the world is pretty bloody convenient once you get down to it. So what is the real problem we're seeing here with the problem of positivity, where most people no longer feel positive? Well, their job sucks and they're not getting paid that much, and they are having a lot of economical troubles. And yeah, legit. That's a totally legitimate reason to be depressed. Like right now I have a car, or I have a house, and I'm saving up and building more. But even before I had these things, the only time I was truly upset was when I didn't have a car. Because in America, if you don't have a car, you have to walk everywhere. Well, if you have to walk everywhere, that means you're exposed to the elements. You're basically having to fight nature, and you're exhausting your own potential energy supply. The world isn't that hard, man. And it's really not. You get a job, you simply do the job, take that money, and you get yourself a place to live, and then you slowly save up. Now, mind you, can you save up for big things? Not necessarily. It depends on your situation, and a lot of situations are really, really bad. And I don't know how to tell you to make it through it, man. But it's best just to keep your mind off of things, because I swear, I was scrolling through X earlier, okay? And on X, easily 85% of all the posts I see are negative. 85% are people arguing, talking about politics. And mind you, that's Twitter, okay? Twitter is always like that. But then I go to YouTube, and it's the same thing. And negativity has a monopoly over your mind. And it's not helping you. you're not thinking, you're not living, really. You're just simply reacting. And as long as you are reacting, you cannot take action that would help you proceed. Or at least so I think, anyways. I mean, how can I say that, huh? And essentially, what I want each of you to do is I want each of you just simply to find something you like to do every day and make time just to do that thing. That's it. It's very short, very simple. And yeah, man. And like I was listening to Coast to Coast AM, a old broadcast Art Bell generation, not George Norrie. I always thought George Norrie was a bit of a sellout. Art Bell was pretty much the man for those shows. And mind you, I don't believe in 99% of what's on those stories, okay? 99% of those stories are complete nonsense. But the thing I wanted to bring up about him is that it struck me how amazing his oration ability is. His ability to convey words and discuss and talk about topics and just have that perfect, I see. Even when people would come on the show and try to derail it, or there was a caller that came on there and he tried to make a racist remark, and so he was able to spring into there, and he was like, the way Art Bell disarmed this guy was so masterful. It was so matter of fact. He just simply said, you don't tell other people about these things you think about, do you? And the guy's like, yeah. So like, you know that might cause harm to you, right? It's like, yeah. Like, I think it's a good idea for you not to tell anybody about the things you've said here. And he's like, yeah. And then he hung up as quick as that. And to be honest, that's kind of the way you gotta handle people. Well, you kind of just gotta flow with people and deal with them as they're coming. And you don't know what you're walking into until you're in it. You know what I mean? Every day, man. But I will admit, my everyday feels like a cycle. Well, that is like a non-stop blur of one moment of consciousness to the next moment of consciousness. Now, mind you, I try to make times to do things that are fun or interesting to me. Like before bed, I put on an episode of Nichijou today. I've never seen Nichijou. By the way, terrible show to put on before bed. Oh my god, the energy is off the chart with that anime. It is absolutely nuts. For my break, I sat down and I ate my cheap microwave burritos, and then I was watching, what was it called? Living with a Taku Neat Ninja. That anime sucks, by the way. Oh my god. It is trash. It is no good. But, I sat down and watched it because, why not? I don't really care. It's mildly entertaining, but it's not good. It's like, fills in the space, Oh, no real ideas of substance. Honestly, a lot of new anime doesn't have many ideas of substance, which is kind of a issue. It's like, I don't know. My thoughts on anime have changed radically over time, and I need to start doing more talks about anime I like and such. For example, there is this concept I have of School Rumble, okay? And School Rumble is basically just a slice of life rom-com that follows Harima as he aces after Tenma, and they have a love triangle, right? It's your classic rom-com thing. They're spinning around and around and around, and nobody ever gets anywhere. But there is a point I want to point out in there, okay? That Harima goes through a journey that is like Jason and the Argonauts in the story. There is a point where Harima basically becomes Moses. Harima goes off and sails the seas. He goes on this epic adventure. He finds himself lost. Somebody offers themselves to him the easy path, and he doesn't take the easy path. He always chooses the hard path. And in the end, he ends up with a completely different girl than he was chasing the entire time. And I know that's a little bit of a spoiler, but it's very, very interesting to see like how these older stories, even like the slice of life, had more substance to them than a lot of the stuff I see coming out even now. It's like, how many isekai slop shows have you guys seen, huh? And I mean it. How many have you seen? Oh my god. I cannot even recount the sheer number of trashy isekai shows where the main character's overpowered, and then And oh no, there are demons, but the demons look just like humans, and we gotta fight the demons. And it's like, come on, dude. It's pastiche. It's junk food. And I like junk food, but it's junk food, dude. It's not real content for the mind. It's not like Serial Experiments Lane back in the day, which had you questioning reality. It's not like Welcome to NHK, which you have you examine your own life and have you take 5 steps back and be like, am I any better than Sato is? And sometimes you have to kind of face that pill. You don't really know if you're better than you think you are, because everybody thinks they are the main protagonist. Okay, make no mistake, everybody thinks here is a person who is the conveyor of the story. But are you? Are you really? You think about it critically. How many things do you do in a day? You live in a loop, right? We all have our loops, and we try to optimize our loops, and we try to add things to our loops, but our loops spiral around. So if we know we're trapped in loops because humans are cyclical in nature, why can't we try to be happy in our loop? Why can't we try to find some type of contentment? Something. You know? Right now, as strange as it sounds, I'm ambitious. I want to move up. I hate the job I'm doing. But at the same time, I'm also the most comfortable I've ever been. And like, yeah, things aren't great, but they're not as bad as they used to be. So life is moving forward. Do you see what I mean? And like just the other day, my stove almost caught fire, and I still don't have power to half my kitchen because I got to get a plumber out to go repair the stove. Apparently, who the hell would have guessed a plumber fixes gas stoves, dude? Like, really? But even so, this is still a huge improvement over my situation just 10 years ago. Oh hell, my situation 16 years ago was dire, or was at the edge of non-existence, if you understand what I'm saying. And so now I've built up a nice little nest egg of safety, and I've built myself a nice little home for myself, and yet I cannot be satisfied. And I think that's something that's inherent to each of us. I feel that humans always are trying to strive for something greater, for something more, and yet I don't know the correct way to put this. What I'm basically trying to say is if we are all trapped in loops, we need to try to make our loops positive. I have this concept, and this is how I'm going to end up this episode today because I'm almost out of time. Which is funny because I only started up like, 13 minutes ago now from the beginning of this video. But I have a concept of a period of being awake and a period of being asleep. And sometimes I drift into these unconscious looping patterns of habits where I am asleep. I'm not thinking. I'm not actually responding. And then I have these periods where I suddenly snap awake and I'm like, oh my God, what have I been doing? I've wasted all this time. And it's like coming awake from a long distance slumber. And I don't understand how these seasons of wakefulness and these seasons of sleep actually work. But they're a thing. Make no mistake, they're absolutely a thing. Even today, I felt the temptation not to sit down and record a car chat, even though I've pretty much decided I'm going to record a car chat every single time I have a lunch. It is what it is, you know? Oh, it's just simply because I was trying to strive to find a topic, and yet I have like 15, 20 different topics, and not one I really want to settle on. As you can tell, I was bouncing all over the place today. Well, either way, for all of you guys out there, I want you to just have a good night, okay? Have a good Tuesday morning, or whatever day this is that you see it, and just think about the loops. Think about the loops that you live in, the loops that your family lives in, and understand that the person next to you may also be trapped in a loop as well. And harboring and focusing on negativity is not going to be the thing that's going to bring you forward. What you need is you need to be able to sit there and understand that I only have this much and I have to make the best of it. So what can I do to make the best of it? Alright guys, that's going to be enough for me tonight, so I'm going to sign off, okay? This is Gerald from the Workshop. Out.